Good morning. How is everyone? Welcome. Happy Friday. I'm Belinda with Just Be Yoga, and this is our home yoga practice live. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm going to take these off and see if I navigate without them. Yeah, it's been really wonderful to work on standing and standing as a practice, standing as a physical alignment kind of space, standing in different orientations, upside down, backwards, all kinds of things. So I hope that you've been enjoying this practice. Please say hello if you're dropping into the room this morning. Let me know how the practice has been going in regards to standing. We're going to get started today and try to flow a little bit with our focus being on standing. So we're going to start in a standing meditation. So find your mountain. I've got my feet together, but you don't have to. And we have been tending to start our practice with checking in a seated position, but I would like to see if we can practice checking in from a standing position. So position the legs for comfort to be able to hold us for a period of time in a balanced way. So I have gone ahead and separated my feet, spread the toes, a little soft give in the knees. Arms are relaxed, growing tall through the back of the neck. Remember, two elements about standing that we have focused on this week are rooting, so sending energy down in the limbs or whatever's in contact with the earth downward, and rising, asking the upper body to rise as well, but having some ease and feeling the middle, the bridge. How are we bridging those two energies? Let's breathe in our stand and stand in our breath. Maybe close the eyes. Spend some time observing our physical existence, experience standing. What is at ease about it? What is not at ease about it? Observe our breath, checking in with the state of how we are, physically, breath-wise, mentally. I'd like to extend today the practice of not only our check-in, but as an element of practice, what I'm practicing. And today I'd like to be practicing for myself, standing in gratitude. So maybe there's an element of practicing about life that you'd like your focus to be on your dharana. So I'm going to try to feel how it is that I stand in gratitude as I move in my physical body. How do I stand in gratitude in my breath? How do I stand in gratitude in my mental space? Maybe take a moment and journal, write down, like, okay, here's where I wanted to be. Here's what I like the focus of my practicing to be in, what I'm going to connect with yoga to create a connection. And I'm breathing and lengthen upward, pressing down through the feet, lifting up through the chest. Feel the breath, feel the bridging. I'm allowing myself to stay in a space of gratitude. So I'm grateful for feeling my organs. Can I invite a space of ease where I am and yet having my intention on the rooting and the rising and the gratitude? Forward fold, releasing the upper body, softening the knees, and rolling the spine up. I had to slow my roll because I realized wasn't staying in that gratitude. Breathing in and reaching. Forward fold, rooting. And what's rising here are the hips. Can I stay with intention without it being with strain? Rolling the spine up. Breath in. I'm going to twist it open to the right, extending both arms out, trying to keep my hips forward, rooting and rising. Grateful for the expansion and length, that opening in my heart. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twisting. You choose the pace of your breath. I put some intention into the legs to press down, and I could feel a little bit of tightness in my hips. So that rooting helped me be aware of something that's harboring some non-ease in my body. Breath in. Exhale, hinging it forward. Inhale, half flat. I'm going to plant my right palm down. Remember, you could have a block here or a stool, a chair, and twist. First time feeling my arms being a part of my root, standing in them. Are they prepared to let me stand in them? Are they prepared to stand me? What do I have to do to negotiate how much tension I'm applying? And release, left hand down, press and twist. Can I breathe with ease? Can my mind stay at ease? Maybe bring that hand to your hip. And forward fold. Rolling that spine up. Working the shoulders back and down. Appreciating that my legs are still giving me root and support to allow me to stand and do this maneuver in the shoulders. Upright, change direction. Be in the shoulder joints. Learn its range, learn the contours of the ligaments and bones inside of there, the muscles working together in concert. And bend the knees, pull the butt back, lift the chest chair, feeling myself standing in bent legs, still being supported. Find my breath, observe what's going on. Hands wherever you would like them to be. Now I'm exploring right now just my feet. How am I standing in my feet? What role are different sections of my feet playing? What role are my shins playing versus my calves? Can I distribute that energy equally? Can I let go of thinking, if I lift the chest, would that take pressure off of my legs? Having my upper body work in concert with the bottom body for that bridge. And up to standing. I'm going to lift my left leg and reach. Bringing the knee back, bringing it down. Feel that foot coming into the earth. Feel this standing, noticing when I'm trying to rush off into the next thing. I don't want to skip the two-footed standing before I'm in a hurry to come into the one-footed standing, lifting the other leg. Rooting down what's going on in that left leg. How about the core? If we tightened it a little, would that help solidify the bridge? And reach. And up. Can I keep growing tall? What does it feel like to feel me apply that intention into there? I can feel just a little bit more rise and bring that foot down. Come into those feet. Bend the knees, sink the butt back, lift the chest. Those arms can be where you would like them to be. Now, we started on the first time in the chair, really focusing on that root. Now, I just want to be in the rise. Can I feel the top of my head lifting up? Can I feel the back of my neck growing tall? Don't worry if it means that you're standing a little taller. Put some intention into feeling the spine in between the shoulder blades being pulled upward. What does it feel like to be inside of an intention? Inside of the active action, inside of the intention. What's going on incrementally, physically and awareness-wise? And come to standing. I'm going to lift the left leg. Ooh, I was in too much of a rush, so I rolled onto that base of the right foot, but now I'm a little bit more dispersed in that right foot, pressing more evenly, and I'm going to step that left foot back. Take as many steps as you need for stability. Right knee over right heel, baby toe edge on the left foot, pressing, right hip back. And feel this standing with a little bit of movement, a little bit of play in these hips. Can we move it? What wants to move? How does the planted part of the legs help us? Build that awareness. What's rooting and rising? Gratitude for me as a point of my practice today. Feeling my breath, feeling my body able to move, responding to my thoughts. Breath in. Now I'm going to see if I can come to standing. So that means I've got to ask my right leg to stand me and carry me up. So I'm going to step and up. Good. Breathe in and lift. Laugh out loud if that was wobbly. Exhale, bringing it forward. Maybe rock forward into the front of the feet, left and right. Feel the state of the base that is holding you. And round the spine back up. Bend the knees. Find your chair. Now you spend the time feeling out your root and your rise. Applying energy in both directions and just observing. You scan what you want to be observing. What's changing right now, and what's your relationship to what you are perceiving. What you're perceiving physically, what you're perceiving breath-wise. And bring it up. Feel the mountain stand, apply. Lifting the right leg, extending. Stepping that leg back. So take as many steps as you need. Back foot flat. Aim the right toes to the front right corner of your mat. Left knee is bending. And then just feel out the hips. Oh, what wants to move? What's that low spine saying? How does the groin, the inner thighs feel? If you're lifting up in the chest, how does that help? You notice something in the waist, the rib cage, the organs. Then settling in, left hip back, right hip forward. Maybe scoop the tailbone under and back a few times, feeling your pelvis. Grateful for the base, giving you stability in those legs so that you can feel this in an upright standing position. And so much gratitude for the range of sensations we can feel. Breath in, be in both legs. Feel your investment in your base, in your rootedness. Now, does your investment mean rigidity? Does your investment mean strain? Maybe play with how much you're pressing down in the left leg as we get ready to stand up, to come up to the top of our mat and bring it down. I felt my left knee wasn't happy with my alignment when I came up this time. So I've got the mental note about bringing a little extra awareness. I might want to take 2 steps up next time. Breath in, lift, push the feet down, chest up. Aware of how we stand, how we comport ourselves, where we put our energy when we're standing. Do we only put all of our energy downward? Do we only put all of our energy upward? What is equilibrium? Exhale, forward, fold. Breathe in, lift the chest, right hand down, maybe to that block or the floor, twist. What's moving in the bridge? How does the base and the legs and the right arm give us the ability to move something in the bridge, to twist, torsion, breath? What's changing in our perception of our bodies? Any strain or ease? Where's the ease? What are you enjoying right now? Where's the ease in your breath? How are you experiencing and receiving the ease? That's the gratitude. And switch. Left hand down, pressing. Thank this left arm. Is it ready? Have a conversation, negotiate, and twist. And release, forward, fold. Hands are down. We're going to have the hands flat. Maybe you need to walk your feet back a bit so that you can feel your hands flat. You might need to bend your knees a little bit. And then shift some weight forward into the hands, back into the heels, keeping the hands flat, shifting weight to stand in the arms, shifting weight to stand in your legs. Push the legs down. What are they doing? Are they just sticks sitting there? Or are you actively pressing and standing in them? How much energy do you need to press in them? To be aware of the muscles grabbing around your legs and your bones of your legs to give you stability. Shifting, feeling. Now we're going to shift forward. Walk the feet back to down dog. So we're just going to walk it back. Not the full length of your mat. Pressing down and forward through the arms, seeing if we can allow and trust the head and the neck to fall to gravity. Hips are the rising. The legs and the arms are the rooting. And in between the rising and the rooting is that bridging. So we get to feel the bridging in the torso as well as the length of the arms and the legs. What's going on in the bridging? Maybe see if we can tilt the tailbone up and down. What is the base telling you now? Is your base fatiguing? Is your base strengthening? Is the mind, what is the mind doing? We'll bring the left knee down. So now the root and the base are in the palms and the left knee. I'm going to spin the right foot flat. Now the right foot is a part of that base. Thrusting the hips, letting that bridge move. Feel the right foot. Start to notice what arm, what hands, what limbs are the root that you have the most attention on. And can you apply some intention into everything that's in contact with the earth? Then if you're ready, let's play with standing in a sideways orientation. Feel that left knee. Is it pressing down? Feel that right foot. Is it pressing down? How much does that fortify your bridging of the rest of your flesh? Right hand at the hip, turning, twisting, be in the right foot. Relax the shoulders, still lengthening through the top of the head. The rest of the bridge. Is it wobbly? Does it need more solidity and firmness? What is our perception of our breath here? What is our perception in our mind as we experience the body? Are we applying a judgment from the mind into the body? If you'd like to play, we're going to stand only in the left arm and the left knee, lifting the right leg. Now, what's rising and what's rooting? We're rooting through an imaginary ground in that right heel. Test it. Let the leg go limp and notice how the body feels, and then put some energy into it. How did you put energy into it? Did you rush? Did you panic into it? Did you knock yourself over with your energy? And we'll bring that right foot down, right hand down. Feel the hand and the foot and the knees all come to tabletop. Feel them standing for you. Shift weight left and right. Cat and cow. Feel the state of the bridge. Feel the state of the arms, the knees, the legs. Are they asking for some rest? Are they asking for some more invigoration? Tucking the toes, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. Now those knees could stay soft. Starting to pay attention to, what does my base need? Does it ask for a little bit of alleviation? Are we putting too much strain, too much pressure, too much force on our base? Tilting the tailbone up. How are we living in the skin we're in? Are we having a friendly relationship? Are we having a dominating relationship? Are we having an at odds relationship in this body, or certain segments of it? Yoga helps us build that awareness. Something so simple as looking at how we stand can provide such a depth of lessons. I'm going to bring the right knee down, spin that right foot flat. So I'm aiming the right toes into the arch of the left foot. Right hand down beneath the right shoulder. Now feel your base. Feel your hips. Maybe thrust the hips a few times. Asking yourself, is my left foot pressing into the earth? Is it providing anchor? How about the right arm and the right hand? Is there one limb doing more? What about that right knee? What does it need to do? Good, it's nice, a nice post in the middle of that bridge, so it gives us a little bit more fortification. Can we use it? And then if you're ready, if you want to play, you could bring that left hand to your hip, pushing down with that left leg. Ease and steadiness, Dhyana Sukha. Where is your attention? Where is your applied intention? What are you observing? What are you experiencing? What are you perceiving? Maybe you play with lifting the left leg. You could lift it for a second and bring it back down with ease and steadiness and say, okay, I'm noticing my right groin is wobbly. A part of my right arm is wobbly. I don't know where it's starting from. Wow, that's awesome awareness. And then we could lift the left leg again and say, okay, now I think I'm aware of that quiver coming from, or at least it's emanating around this area. Maybe you come out and take a break. Maybe you stay with it. Ask yourself, am I practicing the body form? Am I practicing my breath form? Am I practicing being present with what's going on in my mind? Not tuning it out. Totally tuning in. What are you saying to yourself right now? What are you saying to me about me? We'll bring that leg down. And left hand coming to the floor, left knee. If your wrists are sensitive, you could always make a fist and rest on your knuckles. A few cat and cows stretching and moving. The middle section, that bridge, standing on the posts, the base of the arms and the knees. Relying on that support so that the rest of the body can get a little bit of movement, alleviation of pressure. And then we'll widen the knees. That's the way I would really recommend to start. And sink the hips back. Now we're going to root down in the hips, but lengthen forward in the chest, bringing an element of that rise and that bridge into our child's pose. And then release your body weight to gravity. We don't have to stand when we're laying. Because when we're laying, we're surrendering. Standing requires some action against gravity. This is an action of release, of surrender. How do we stand in surrender? What are we understanding right now on a physical level? Good. Let's place the forearms down out in front of us, keeping them parallel like railroad tracks. And feel that as a surface and say, okay, am I ready? Does it want to support me? Could I stand on this broad, lengthened base? There's more surface here than our feet. So we'll shift forward, bringing the chin over thumbs, and just feel that weight. Feel the forearms supporting that weight. So we're standing in those forearms, and shift it back to child's pose. And forward, chin over thumbs. You choose your pace. You can take your time. Maybe you want to stay in child's pose. Maybe you want to hold here like I am in this bit of a forearm plank, testing it out. I'm just kind of pulsing up and down a little bit on the forearms, feeling those arms, feeling myself being willing to experience standing in these forearms. What section of the forearms are doing the support, are doing the most working? How about the wrists and the fingers? Everything that's touching has a role to play. Am I relying on it? Do I know how to? Will I accept it? Sinking the hips back. Breath in. Breath out. Where is there tension? Maybe between the shoulder blades, the neck, your low back. And we'll bring ourselves forward one more time. Now you could always play with this with just one leg and switch. So you could bring that knee in and lengthen the other leg. But if you feel as though, hey, I want to test this out, plant the toes down with the lengthened leg, chin over thumbs, and we're going to press and ask the forearms to support us. Press that down, push the right foot down. Everything that's your base right now, okay? So the left knee is a base, the right toes are a base, the forearms are a base. Practice right now, press into them, stand in them. Let them support you, and then lift the left knee off the earth. Feel that support. It's gripping already, and then that left leg back. Breath, chin over thumbs. Let whatever's happening happen, and we're just observing what is going on. Could you push the heels back? Could you pull the chest forward? What's your bridge doing for solidity? Or is it becoming a noodle? And bring the belly down. Turn the gaze to one side. Let go. Let this be that opposite action of surrender, where we just release into our base. We trust it completely, that we can let go of our action, we can let go of our body weight, and turn. What are we experiencing? Breath, mind. Can you feel the whole back of your body, the skin on your back, in your shoulders, your arms, the back of your legs? It's nice and warm here today, so I wore shorts. I can feel so much air on my skin. We'll press our way back to hands and knees and find child's pose. And I'm going to change my child's pose. I'm going to bring the legs a little closer together and let my head come forward. You get to choose and feel out. Maybe you don't want the legs closer together. Maybe you're going to play and find a middle ground to change your positioning so that you can change your perception. Yoga is a practice of perception. Perception is connective tissue because what we perceive and our perceiver get to connect with one another. that inner witness, using the power of perception to connect with something. And that perception tells us sensorily a physical perception, an emotional perception. Good, let's lengthen forward. Oh, I'm sorry, we were going to bring our head down. I was going to do Apanasana. So if you want to bring your hands to your ankles or shins, go ahead. Maybe you're holding pant legs. And see if you can bring your head as close to the floor as you can. Close to your knees as you can, sorry. Now hold on to your ankles or shins or calves. Feel your breath, feel your container. And we're going to gradually start to lift the hips up. So feel your thighs peeling off the back of your calves. And that'll get you to start to roll toward the middle of the top of your head. When you lift the shoulders up. Now you might be experiencing something intense. So you back off. Notice how much pressure you're putting into standing, having weight bearing on your head and your neck. How does your neck receive this action? What are we perceiving? Shoulders up. Can you lift some weight off of your head? Remember, the root and the rise works together to create the strength and the ease. Can you lift the shoulders more? And lower the hips down, eventually coming up to sitting back on those shins. Feel your perception, feel what's rising through the top of the head as we're standing on our shins. What's lifting, what's rooting. Shoulders down. Grow tall through the back of the neck, through the sides of your neck. All right, we're going to bring the palms down alongside these knees. Keeping the chest up, so we're standing partially in the hands. Can you feel the muscles squeezing around the upper bones of the arms to give them stability? Because they're like, oh, you want me to be your legs now? Yes, I do. Widen the base of your palms so that the fingers are spread nice and wide. Pressing down. Now feel the very tops of your ankles, the tops of your feet in contact with the mat. That's going to be the next base, pressing down through the hands, chest is up. I'm going to give you a little warning if you haven't done this before. Not much may happen. Or something really awesome may happen. Who knows? Let's press down through the feet, the tops of the feet, the hands, pull the knees up. Breath. Stand on the tops of your feet and your arms. Lift. What's rooting? What's rising? What happened to your breath? And lower. Don't worry about how high it lifted. If you need to shake your wrists out, cool. Where did tension start to accumulate? And we'll bring the palms down. Feel your root and your rise. Upper body is rising. Feel the back of the neck lifting. Familiarize yourself with a new base point. I'm going to stand in these arms and they are going to support me and something's going to rise. Okay, so here we go. Push down through the tops of the feet. Press down intentionally through the arms. Ask the knees to lift. Breath. Doesn't have to be much. Breath. Chest is lifting. Where is your attention? Where is your intention? What are we perceiving? What's the mental perception? And lower. Breath. Shake anything out. I'm going to go for it one more time, and this time I'm really going to try to practice my awareness, my intention, attention on that gratitude, and see what that does to change the experience in myself physically and breath-wise. Palms down, chest up. And lifting when we're ready. And lower. I don't know how that was for you, but it was wonderful to be able to just look at a point of gratitude, grateful to be able to feel, grateful to be able to feel heat coming out of my body, grateful to be able to feel a certain amount of sturdiness and strength, and say, that's what's going on right now, today. And I'm going to live in that and accept that, not wishing for it to be any other day, any other moment, no future me to be loving then. It was kind of cool. All right, let's come to sitting. Good morning. I think that says D-Bay. I unwisely, I took my glasses off, so they're up there. So, but I think I can read that. Let's press the backs of the legs down, chest up, shoulders up and back and down. Breath in. How are you standing in yourself here? And take it forward. Now those knees could be soft. You could put a pillow under these knees if need be. Your hands could be resting somewhere on your body. You could be delivering some loving touch. Remember that we are connecting. And stimuli gives us something to perceive. Non-action gives us something to perceive. But sometimes we need to practice awareness of action before we can be ready to start practicing awareness of non-action. And bring ourselves up. I'm going to bring the sole of my right foot up against my left inner thigh, letting this right knee fall open. If you need a cushion under that knee, go ahead. So maybe that groin isn't happy with that amount of opening. Lifting up in the chest and twisting. Where is your perception? What are you practicing right now? What are you actively doing? What are you not actively doing? And we just get to be aware of it and release and come forward. The more that I invest in my practicing, the more I appreciate the depth within simplicity. And bring the spine back up. The depth within the simplicity of feeling standing in my spine here and noticing what I'm doing and what's going on. I'm going to switch. What am I delivering to myself in terms of perception? What am I delivering to myself in my verbal internal words? Breath in, lifting, exhale, twist, twist, twist. Oh. I'm holding for a little bit more. My low spine. I'm just asking for a little bit more love, and I'm practicing that as that gratitude. Saying, I'm grateful I can feel it. I'm grateful that I can respond to an area of my body that is asking for something. And I'm able to notice it and pause and try to deliver it. And when you're ready, maybe come forward. You could have a pillow here and just rest your head here. Or maybe just let the body fall. This is one of those surrendering spaces. So if you find yourself doing something, ask yourself, bring that perception. Oh, wait, I'm doing. Do I need to be doing? Is something going on in my mind? What's the chatter in my mind? Is it true, whatever my chatter is? And don't use it as a problem solving, just I'm aware. Oops, I'm aware. Oops, I'm aware. That's all. Your own internal light bright. And we'll bring our chest up. I did just refer to light bright. We'll lengthen our legs out. And I'm going to lower down and send the legs up to the ceiling. So I'm going to stand on the ceiling. Feel myself standing in the imaginary ceiling in the feet, but that means I'm going to really intend the feet. Feel my feet pressing into soil. Now feel the spine pressing into the earth. I'm going to bring the feet down, keep them separated a few inches apart, knees a few inches apart, arms down alongside your waist. I'm going to push down and stand in the feet, shins, thighs, hips, rising that bridge. We are literally bridging. So what's the base? What are the points in contact with the earth? How are you experiencing them? What are the parts that are rising? How are you experiencing them? Sorry, something is crawling on me. How are you perceiving your breath right now? How are you perceiving your mind? Maybe lift one leg. What has changed? What are you standing on? Are you deliberate and intentional about it? Switch legs. Breath. And lower everything down. Legs up. Spine rooting. Can you surrender here? Feel the difference between actively applying and being limp. No right or wrong way, just new ways of perceiving what is going on. Check in, scan the body for something that isn't being limp right now and try to limpen it. And feet down. All right, we're going to do another bridge. Feet are separated a few inches apart, knees a few inches apart. If you are wishing to explore full wheel, I'm going to break down some elements. I'm going to say you can try this, you can add on or stay here, all right? So listen. The first point is if you're joining, so you can just stay with your arms down alongside your waist for a bridge. Or we're going to take the palms and bring them up near the ears, aiming the fingertips toward your shoulders, palms flat, elbows aiming up to the ceiling, and that's it. Right now, let's be aware of our feet. Let's be aware of our hands. Maybe push down with the hands a little bit and say, oh, let me imagine that I was standing in them. And then relax, and just press and relax. What does that do? Making you aware of different areas of the armpits, shoulders, the backside, underside of the arms, of how much support they would have to provide, and are they ready for that? Are you feeling that out right now? Now, if you like, we could all just stay here, push down through the feet and lift the hips and find our bridge with our hands in this position. And that's all. Just feel, press down through the hands. You can stay there, or some of you may want to push down through the hands and try to tilt your head backward so that you can bring the top of your head to the floor, like so. So the top of my head is on the floor. My elbows are up. You don't have to be here. Could have stayed right where you were. Listen to every signal that you are perceiving right now. Can you breathe? Do you have a calm mind? Do you have a calm body? If you're going further, maybe see about straightening those arms. Remember, the point here is standing. Standing in the arms, standing in the legs, feeling the bridge in the middle, perceiving. Bringing the head down, tucking the chin, lowering the shoulders down. If you were just in a bridge, lower the butts down and send the heels up to the ceiling. Maybe feel and perceive right now a release of energy, making you aware, maybe more so now, of how much pressure you were putting on yourselves or that you were experiencing physically, breath wise, if you explored certain depths of the wheel. What did you learn about your arms as a base? About standing in that different orientation, standing bent backwards, but standing nonetheless. We'll bring the knees into the chest, lift the forehead up to the knees and lower it down. We'll let both knees fall over to the left, gaze over the right shoulder. What do you think this space is? Does this space call for action, or does this space call for inaction, that limp receiving surrender? What do you want to make it into? How are you perceiving it? What are you perceiving in your breath right now? What are you finding that you are enjoying that's giving you ease, restoration? Let go of the what and the why of various benefits. I know that I have become far too analytical, far too prescriptive about various aspects of practice. And surrender is a huge element of practice for us to practice. We'll gradually bring the knees up to center and allow them to come over to the other side. As long as we're being honest about what we are noticing, what we're perceiving, you are practicing your path of yoga. We perceive it and we let it go. We practice it and we let it go. So that really doesn't leave a lot of space and time for analysis, because analysis isn't letting go. Analysis is so clingy. And I'm not saying that there aren't times in life, in different tasks in life, that don't require an analysis. I'm saying that right now, here and now, be present with what is. Be present with a sensation. I'm feeling a little tingle, a little pull. It's like, and it's just there. Nothing to do about it. It's just there. I'm present with the yummy ease of the rib cage, breathing here, and a little breeze that just came through. I'm going to try not to cling to it and say, "Ooh, I want more of that breeze." No, it's just there. It's right here, and I'm aware of it. Rooting and rising mentally. Apply the perception and apply the rise, and we just find the ease in the middle. And then we'll come on back to center. Maybe forehead to the knees. All right, we're going to do a shoulder stand. We did that yesterday at the wall. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? We'll roll over to one side. And we'll bring ourselves up. We will do a pose, counter pose. Okay, so we'll do pose, headstand pose. And then we'll do the counter pose of shoulder stand. All right. So what we did yesterday and over the last few days actually were Sushasana A, where we thread the fingers, keeping the heels of the palms together, and we have the forearms out like a little V. You can practice that by having the arms like such, feeling those elbows like that. That's more than enough right there to practice that. Don't clamp the head with the forearms. Or you can bring that entire structure
of the very top of the head down and the forearms, and just press the forearms down, just like we did in the forearm plank. Just press and feel yourself, maybe even lift your head. That is more than enough
of a preparatory space. Okay, so stay there. Continue practicing that if you wish. If you know that you wish to go further by lifting the hips and maybe lifting the legs, you could position yourself closer to a wall. I'm going to stay freestanding today in the middle of the mat. But if you would like to get closer to the wall, have your knuckles about 12 or so inches away from the wall.
And we'll do the same thing. So we can all join in the prep. Feel the forearms, feel the shoulders respond. What has to get solid for us, for that base? What's the state of our breath? Where's your mind right now? Is your mind already running ahead 4 or 5 steps? What are you absorbing attention-wise right now? How does the top of the head feel? How many follicles of hair are you aware of? What's going on the pinky finger knuckles against the mat? Be present. Don't run. Pull the shoulders away. What does rising and rooting feel like right now? And then, if you wish, we tuck the toes and lift the hips. This can be enough. You could do this for a breath and bring the knees down and call that good. Others of you might want to stay here and rock onto the tippy toes, pulling the shoulders up. We're still practicing rooting and rising. Our orientation has changed. Our base has changed, but we're still practicing rooting and rising. You can bring the knees down and rest or start to walk the toes closer into the face. Remember, you can have that back up near a wall. Absorb. Now, right now, let's perceive what the mind and our emotions are perceiving. Is there fear? Is there a goal orientation, a pride, an ego? Breath. Where is the ease in it? Maybe one knee to the belly. Maybe another knee to the belly. Hip up. Breath. Practice the rising, the rising. Maybe both knees come to the belly. Rising and the rooting. Don't jump in the middle. What are you doing? What are you perceiving? Maybe those feet need to come down. Where's your breath? I'm going to remember my gratitude as I aim my knees up to the ceiling, heels toward my butt. Maybe your feet are feeling the wall. Breath. Maybe you're down and finding child's pose and taking a breath. Maybe you're still in the prep. Are you practicing your root and your rise right now? Your ease of your breath right now. And we'll all eventually bring ourselves down. Rolling it up till we're sitting back on the heels, feeling the head come back to aiming upward. Be present with all of the sensations you're experiencing, whether you can identify them and name them or not. Feel and experience these sensations. Stimulation, vibrant energy glowing, emanating. Now we'll come and bring our legs up the wall for a shoulder stand. If you'd like to do it in the middle of the room, go ahead. I'm going to do this one at the wall because I don't believe I demoed it yesterday at the wall. So I want to be sure that I'm giving some balance and as best I can, some safety instruction. Hips up against the wall. Get cozy with it. Now we're going to swing the legs up the wall, but try to keep your butt up against the wall. So I'm bending my elbows. I'm standing in these arms and letting those arms lower me down. Lowering hips. Now I'm using the arms and I'm swiveling back onto the floor. Butt is on the wall. I do one little scooch here, but if you're far away,
You're going to have a wonderful experience, lots to perceive there as you try to scooch and scooch and scooch to get your butt up against the wall. All right. Let's all find a space of ease, whether you're in the middle of the room and just letting the legs lift, or you're at the wall and finding the support of the wall, the support for the back. Let's receive this as a nice intermission between the headstand space before we start to head into a shoulder stand space. Absorb the present moment. Be here now. What are we enjoying? What are we discovering? What are we learning right now? What's a new experience, a new perception, a new awareness, a new strength? What's growing, changing? All right, we'll bend the knees a little bit until the soles of the feet are up against the wall. I'm going to keep the feet positioned like bridge, so not too far apart, just 3-4 inches apart. Knees, don't let them collapse in and touch one another. So imagine that they're staying over your heels. Keep the gaze up to the ceiling. Don't turn your head. All right, so we're going to lift the gaze a little so that there's some curvature under the back of your neck against the floor. I'm going to rest my arms, keep the gaze up. Now I'm going to stand on the wall. So we're doing the same maneuvers we would do in bridge. We're just doing it inverted. So we're going to press into the feet and feel the hips rise and feel the shoulders become our base. Feel that bridging. How solid is it? How squishy does it need to be? And we'll lower it down, feeling the spine. More base of the spine come into the floor. Breath. How does this heaviness of gravity on our flesh feel? Breathe in as we lift. What are the core muscles doing? Front of the back of the back, and lower. And when we're ready, press, thrust hips, hands now. So we bend the elbows, bring the hands to the low backs, maybe shimmy the shoulder blades a little closer to one another, bringing the hands to the low back and walk my feet up a little. Now you can just stay right here and feel the support that you're providing in your spine. And now our base is the back of the arms, back of the shoulder. It should not be the length of the neck. You should feel the back of your shoulders and the back of your head. The back of your neck should be arching. Relax the tummy. Feel the feet. Now the base gets to start to be mostly the back of the arms and back of the shoulder. And if you'd like to play, alternating, lifting a leg, do so. And if you feel as though you'd have to give the core a little bit of a squeeze, but be aware of your root and the rise, so those legs can't be limp. You won't find lift. You won't stand tall if we don't apply some energy upward. Feel that. Drive the feet up. Feel how the legs have to give some structure, some constriction, contraction. Relax the tummy. You can always bring those feet to the wall. With the hands, with the elbows, what is the state of your base? Are they getting achy? Are they tired? They're not familiar with this unless you do this quite often. How do we treat ourselves when we're learning new things, when we're creating new foundation? How do we have space for the states of change, the process, the increments, the itty bitty bits? Not a goal of getting there. Try to be in a space of gratitude for every increment, not a final destination. Feet to the wall. Releasing the arms. Feel the arms get that pressure alleviating.
And then lower the hips down. Be in the state of perceiving, increment by increment of lowering. Each state and stage, micro stage of lowering. Feel your body accept being held by the earth as the spine comes down. And we can bring the bottoms of the feet together. Maybe allowing the hips to open. Be in your breath. Be in your awareness. Feel your root. All of the surface of you in touch with the earth and everything that is facing upward. What's rising here? Spiritually. What did you get to perceive and connect with today? How will you remain connected as you move and speak throughout your day today? And we'll bring the knees over to one side, rolling our way upright, coming to a seated space. Find a way of sitting that's comfortable for you, feeling yourselves rising and rooting. Check in with your breath. Check in with your body as a sensory being. Check in with your mind. How are you standing in all of those spaces? Hands to the heart center. A single Om if you wish to join. Standing in sound, rooting and rising. Deep breath. All of the light and love in me is deeply grateful for all of the light and love that you share. Namaste to all of you. I'm Belinda with Just Be Yoga, and this has been our home yoga practice live, where we work on creating a practice plan, set an amount of time that we want to practice, and then we work on elements of observing what we're practicing, and we seek guidance through reading material and a teacher. Please have a teacher. Please have something that you're reading and learning from. If it's in your heart or your pocket and you wish to give a donation, we gratefully accept at paypal.me/justbeyoga. Join us this weekend if you like. Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern is our basics. 11:30 a.m. Eastern is our Empower Yoga. On Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern is our Chakra Yoga Flow. You might enjoy that. It's an integrative practice where we integrate elements of Qigong, yoga, Tai Chi Chuan, various meditative practice to connect in with ourselves as energetic beings with all 7 of our chakras. I will stick around a little bit in case anyone has any thoughts. I would love to hear some thoughts about, or shares about your experience with standing this week. I know I feel as though I got to really work on some elements that I don't work on as much. I'm really grounded, so to speak, but I want to bring equal energy upward through the branches reaching upward and let that not make me feel so heavy. Right? I can get rooted and it makes me so digging in serious that I don't get to experience the lightness. And that lightness brings that brightness in life, changing our perspective, flipping my perspective around and knowing that I can still stand strong in who I am and I don't have to feel so heavy. At least that's what I'm carrying away from this week. I'm going to come up here and get my glasses, you all. Oh, hi, B-Bay. Thank you.
What do you mean by lower back strain, D-Bay, if you're still here? Sorry, I am just now seeing that. Yeah, please feel free to send me an email as well at belinda@justbeyoga.com. So we can talk a little bit more about specifically what you mean. That's actually a little generic. So I'm not, I want to be sure that I can give you some assistance. And you were speaking yesterday about assisting, I think, someone out of a chair. So yes, let's talk a little bit. So feel free, send me a message on Facebook at Just Be a Yoga on our Facebook, or Belinda@justbeyoga.com. Happy to help. Uh, all right, Claudia, I see that you say that you're going to do replay later today. Awesome. I hope that you all enjoy. Practice this now and again. You could go through all 4 days a couple of times as a part of your practice of how am I standing? How am I bringing in those elements? What do I need with that for a focal point for my meditations about how am I standing? I think it's really important as we're going through this year to maybe review how have we stood? How have we withstood? How have we understood this year? And how have we fortified ways in which we're standing? Thanks so much. Love you all. I'll see you again really soon. Namaste.